Hi, this is Leah, and this is week 6. The topic for this week's interactive advanced concept presentation is nuclear bomb. So for this week, we didn't have an experiment to perform since we are learning about nuclear reactions. That's kind of obvious why. And we just kind of had to figure out how nuclear bombs work and the reaction that's going on within it. So a couple key concepts that we need to understand for this are nuclear fission, which is the splitting of an atomic nucleus into 2 or more nuclei. And another big one is isotopes. So these are forms of an element that have the same number of protons but differing number of neutrons. So it's still the same element, but the composition of each isotope is a little bit different. So, just in a general sense, how the nuclear bomb works is we need to have 238 uranium, and then we need to have single neutrons, and these single neutrons come from an isotope of uranium, which we'll talk about on the next slide. And basically these components, they react, and they eventually cause a chain of nuclear fission to occur. This is also called a nuclear chain reaction. And once this chain starts, it just repeats itself and eventually will create a large amount of heat and energy, and it'll create what we know as this big explosion, what you think about whenever you think of a nuclear bomb. So how does it work? Why do we get this reaction? The main things that we need are 238 uranium, and we also need an isotope of uranium, which is 235. So these two isotopes are separated in an apparatus, and they are separated prior to being placed here by their weights, because their weights are not exactly the same. There's a slight difference which allows them to be separated. So what happens is 238 uranium is hit by a single neutron. This neutron is released from the isotope, which was the 235 uranium, and this causes a number of neutrons, 2 to 3, to be released from the 238 uranium atom. So whenever these neutrons are released, we also get a release of energy that occurs. So the 238 uranium was hit by a neutron from the 235 uranium, energy was released, and then 235 uranium, which was also present in the beginning in the apparatus, absorbs one of the neutrons that was released from the 238 uranium. So this 235 uranium, once it absorbs this neutron, this causes it to go through fission again, and it splits. And then this process just repeats and repeats and repeats. Now, this process occurs almost instantaneously, and this is why we are able to get such a large amount of heat and energy to be released all at once. So this nuclear chain reaction occurs so fast that so much energy is built up and released all at once that we get to see this kind of iconic image that we have in our head when we think of a nuclear bomb or an atomic bomb. And that is everything. Thank you for watching.